evening. I'd like to welcome everyone to the September 6th meeting of the City of New Bern Planning and Zoning Board. Seth, can we get a roll call?
Yes, sir. Brad Jefferson. Here. Travis Oakley.
Here.
Raymond Layton.
Here.
Margie Dunn. Pat Doherty.
Here.
Samuel Luzo.
Here.
Kyle Deering. Marshall Ballard.
Here.
Thank you. Let's see. First order of business on the agenda. I'd like to get a motion to approve the minutes from the 8/4/22 meeting.
I can make a motion to approve those minutes because I was the one that made the big mistake about it. So I'll move them with approval.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. So can we go ahead and get a...
Yes, sir. Brad Jefferson.
Yes.
Travis.
Yes.
Raymond Marshall. Pat Doherty.
Yes.
Samuel Luzo.
Yes.
Marshall Ballard.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Going to move on to new business. First order of business is for Belle Oaks II LLC is requesting subdivision final plan approval for Belle Oaks Phase 5-B, a proposed final plan for 25 lots located on 15.02 acres. The property is located along Bogue Lane, just north of Rodanthe Drive. Seth, can we get an overview?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So again, this is Belle Oaks Phase 5B, 25 lots, approximately 605 linear feet of public streets proposed, City of New Bern utilities, natural gas available on site. I've got the zoning map here for you. This is this section right here is 5B. This is the R10S and a little bit of R8. And then here's a copy of the map showing 5B. 5A was approved last year, and that's down here on Rodanthe Drive. Here's the overall site map. So, on June 2, 2020, the City of New Bern Planning and Zoning Board granted general plan approval 2020 for Belle Oaks phases 4, 5, and 6. Phase 5A was approved in June of 2021. Staff reviews the proposed subdivision and finds that all technical and legal requirements for final subdivision plan approval are satisfied according to the City of New Bern land use ordinance. Further, the application includes an engineering estimate for the incomplete improvements totaling $17,376. Provided with a check and item out. The estimate is being approved by the interim director of public works. Therefore, the final subdivision plan approval for Belle Oaks Phase 5B is recommended. And the engineer, Mr. Kevin Atlas, is with us tonight. If you have any specific questions that staff can answer.
All right. This time, Mr. Atlas, you care to address the...
Yeah, no, 5A and 5B, we constructed all the improvements there together last year. It was just partitioned off for tax purposes when we platted the first 5A section last year. So everything's been built now for a year and a half back there, ready to move into and start conveying those lots. So that's what this is all about, is putting the balance of those lots on record so they can be conveyed.
Is there any questions from the board at this time?
Seth, did I hear you say that staff has received a check for the, is that what I heard you say? Okay.
Yes,
In
sir.
lieu of, okay, perfect.
In lieu of
Okay, that's fine. Yep.
And that's for street trees and sidewalks.
Yeah.
That was my only question.
Now, I have a question. I'm obviously familiar with the neighborhood since I live there, but will those sidewalks, will they be connected to the already existing sidewalks? And
They will be, and they will be, the ones that are out there, I think, are 3 foot. These will all be 5 foot wide. So yes, they will be.
Okay. Is there any other questions from the board?
This was, we talked about this before. Was this renovated to make the lots, change the size of the lots? Something happened here, right? So it was some kind of compromise. What was it?
Well, it goes way back. This is a 2002
Oh, yeah.
subdivision, 2 and 3. The original plan that was approved back in the first approval had this size lots in this location.
Okay.
In fact, they were smaller. They were duplex lots that could be duplex or single family. Probably what the compromise was the approval of phase 6 and 7, which aren't constructed now. There were no definitive plans for those at that time. But now what has been approved is more of this size lots for phase 6 and 7. And we would anticipate coming back here with phase 6 probably about this time next year, or a couple months early, middle of next year. And it would look, yeah, right now everything's running in line with the general plan approval. There's no aspirations to change anything. So it's a short history.
Thank you. If there are no further questions, I'd like to seek out a nomination to approve Belle Oaks Phase 5B.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the Belle Oaks Phase 5, Phase D, final plan, final subdivision plan approval.
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second. Seth, can we take a quick roll?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Brad Jepson,
Yes.
Travis Oakley,
Yes.
Randy Layton,
Yes.
Pat Doherty,
Yes.
Louisa,
Yes.
Marshall Ballard.
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, moving on to item B. Stars and Stripes 4F LLC is requesting subdivision final plan approval for Tyler Homes on the Lake Phase 4, formerly Lake Tyler. A proposed final plan for 34 lots located on 6.95 acres. The property is located along Lake Tyler Drive. Seth, can we get an overview?
Yes, sir. Thank you. We've got the zoning map here. This is the crosshatch colors are S in terms of zoning. This phase is 4 parcels. A little bit tough to see, but make the 4 corners of this area here between there. Here's the subdivision map. So the original general plan for Lake Tyler goes back to 2007. Incremental phase approvals have lessened the development in subsequent years. Staff would review the proposed subdivision and find that all the technical and legal requirements for the final subdivision plan approval have been satisfied according to the city of New York. Further, the application included an engineering estimate of the incomplete improvements totaling $155,670. This estimate's been approved by the interim director of public works. The bond document has been approved by the city attorney. For final subdivision plan approval for Tyler Home on the Lake Phase 4. The engineer, John Thomas, is with us tonight. If anybody has any technical questions, Scott can answer.
Sir, I feel like you're with us every meeting, so if you'd like to step up and give us a few words if you'd like.
This is winding down
Okay.
pretty much what was approved on the general plan. This may be it, I think.
Okay.
Go back and look and see, it's been chopped up
Okay.
pretty much. And I think they're looking, they still have more land out there, so I think there's discussion about doing some more stuff out there. Maybe some single family still and maybe some multi-family. Maybe. But it's pretty clean cut. I'll be glad to answer any questions. I'll try anyway.
Are there any questions from the board? During our meeting? Thank you. All right, This time, I'd like to give the opportunity for a member of the board to approve the final plan for Elemental Lake Phase 4, the lake also known as Lake Tyler.
So moved.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Seth?
Yes, sir. Brad Jefferson,
Yes.
Travis Oakley,
Yes.
Michael Lane,
Yes.
Pat Doherty,
Yes.
Tony Russo,
Yes.
Marshall Valley.
Yes.
Motion passes. Thank you, John.
Before we move on to item C on the new business, I would like to make a motion.
I'd like to,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Chair, request recusal for the next 2 items on the agenda.
Okay.
State your basis, Mr.
Oh, yes, potential conflict of interest, although not really. Our firm is working with the applicant for, on the project for HBC COA approval, not necessarily for the subdivision, but just for total transparency. I'd like to request recusal.
Does that affect the, having a quorum?
No, sir.
Ma'am, do we need to take a vote on that, or?
Yes, sir. Based on Mr. Layton's stated basis, you can obtain a motion to recuse Mr. Layton from deliberation on the following 2 items.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to recuse Mr. Latham from the following 2 items.
All right.
Second.
We can just do yes or no, right?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, we will.
I'm gonna sit here if that's okay. Usually, if we were in court, we might go down to the audience, but I think I'll just sit here if that's all right.
Mr. Chair?
No issues with that? All right. Okay, moving on to item C. Riverfront Hospitality LLC is requesting general plan approval of a 2-lot subdivision of the existing DoubleTree Hotel and the inn property located on 5.60 acres. The property is located along South Front Street and Craven Street. Overview, Seth?
Yes, sir, thank you. Here's the zoning map with the aerials. Property is primarily down in C1, that little corner down here, C2. I'd like to point out from the beginning that the definition of a minor, of a major subdivision is any subdivision that doesn't meet the definition for a minor, which is any, where the parent parcel is 5 acres or less. This parcel is 5.6 acres, and that's what triggered the major subdivision and the need to come before this board. There's no improvements being proposed, no change of use. It's simply proposing to cut this lot in half right here, related to the sale of the inn. It's the motive behind the subdivision. We've got the proposed subdivision map with the new line being drawn right here.
Someone new to the home?
Yes, sir, the inn is to be sold to a new owner. RPG Hospitality LLC is the current owner of the entire piece. Riverfront Hospitality LLC will be the new owner of the inn. The attorney, Cliff Parson with Gordon Smith, is here representing the applicant, so he can answer any technical questions you may have. So here's an aerial of the parcel, and again, the proposed line approximately right there shown in red. Again, this Riverfront Hospitality LLC 2-lot division, the existing DoubleTree Hotel and inn property is classified as a major subdivision due to the parcel being in excess of 5 acres. No proposed improvements or change of use associated with the application. For general subdivision plan of Riverfront Hospitality LLC application is recommended. I'll do my best to answer any questions.
Sir, did you have any comments you'd like to make?
I'll be glad to answer any questions. To clarify, both parcels are being sold. The buyer is doing this for tax planning purposes, basically splitting this into 2 different pieces.
Okay.
So,
Thank
but
you.
yeah, otherwise, it's an existing improvements, no new services, no new accesses or anything.
Seth did a good job summing that.
Thank you.
Again, because we have no improvements, that may take time, that generally take time to install or create a bond for, you can come back to back on one agenda. So that's the reason that you've got the minor and then the final as two back-to-back items here. Typically with residential subdivisions, you've got, or commercial subdivisions for that matter, you've got improvements that the general plan approval gives you the developer the right to begin construction of those improvements. When those are in and they're ready to start selling lots, they can either bond out the remaining improvements, or it's all put in, it's said and done, they can come to final. So in this case, you can just come straight on with nothing more than an RD in your own.
Thank you, Seth. Are there any other questions from the board regarding item C?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
I just want clarification for myself, not understanding this 100%. The DoubleTree now is owned by, what is it, RPG? And they're selling both parcels?
Yes.
And the new owner is going to be Riverfront Hospitality?
Correct.
So they want to split it. So with the DoubleTree Hotel that's operative right now, will still be a hotel? Or we don't know?
Correct.
And the other inn, which hasn't been opened since the hurricane, right? That's been, it looks like storage in there. I guess there's nothing to do with what our vote today. What's going to happen with that? You know, it's going to be developed in a different way?
No, I think he intends to refurbish it.
Okay.
Yep.
And they've already been working with the inspections department on
Oh, terrific.
the construction.
Just
That's
wanted
the
that
idea.
clarification for myself. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Are there any? Yes, sir.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
So is this located by the convention center?
Yes,
Okay.
sir. If you look on the map.
DoubleTree Hotel.
All right, so if you want to look at the map,
Marshall. He's in the shade right there.
that's the convention center,
The,
You want to the right?
right here.
Right there.
Okay.
So they're directly adjacent.
are there any other questions regarding item C? I'd like to hear from the board regarding approval of Riverfront Hospitality LLC, approving the general plan approval of the two-lot subdivision of the existing DoubleTree Hotel and then property located along South Front Street and Craven Street.
So moved.
I have a motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second, Seth. Can we get a roll call?
Okay, Brad Jefferson,
Yes.
John Stokely,
Yes.
Pat Doherty,
Yes.
Sonia Luzo,
Yes.
and Marshall Ballard.
Yes.
The motion passes.
Move on to item B. Riverfront Hospitality LLC is requesting final approval of a two-lot subdivision of the existing DoubleTree Hotel and the inn located on 5.60 acres. The property is located along South Front Street and Craven Street.
And we've gone,
And we've gone over that.
nothing's changed except for the applications now as received general plan approval. So I would recommend final plat approval.
Do I have a board member that would like to make a motion regarding item D?
I'll make a motion to approve Riverfront Hospitality LLC and requesting final plan approval.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second on this last item. Seth, can we get a roll call?
Yes, sir. So Brad Jefferson,
Yes.
John Stokely,
Yes.
Pat Doherty,
Yes.
Sonia Luzo,
Yes.
and Marshall Ballard.
Yes.
Motion passes. That's all I have.
All right. Are there any final thoughts from any of the board members?
No.
At this point in time, do I hear a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'm not seconding,
Oh,
I'm just reminding you.
yeah. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I
Third.
just like that. All right, I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?